Hi, Emmanuel here with Transform to Succeed T2S. Our mission, our goal is to train someone like you, either change careers moving from a non-IT or non-technical profession into IT, uh, in an IT career or profession. So what we do, we equip you with all of the skill sets that you need to learn what you need to learn in like 5 to 6 months. And after 6 months, you will be able and should be able to secure a highly paying IT job. And that's going to change your life so that you can become a blessing to your family, to a lot of people. You receive more so that you can give more to change lives around you. So that's what we do. We help individuals. We also help organizations, like for training, workshops. Just reach out to us, Transform to Succeed, and you find us at transformtosucceed.com. And in this video today, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of like help you set up a lab environment on your local system. And we'll be using a couple of tools here. We'll be using VMware Fusion Pro 12, and we'll use CentOS. We're gonna download CentOS. But first, to set this lab app, you need a VMware of any type. It could be Oracle VirtualBox, or you can use VMware Fusion Pro 12 for a Mac computer, and that's what I'm using here. So what you do, you're gonna need to go to the website. You go to the website, and I'm gonna share the link. The link is in the notes of this video here. So just click on that link, and it's gonna take you to this website. And you should be able to download VMware Fusion Pro 12 for Mac OS, and you have a lifetime license. And at some point, you may be asked to upgrade to VMware Fusion Pro 13, because that's the latest. If you want to do it, that would be an additional $99. But for this version, you get it, I believe, for less than $12. So take advantage of that. You're gonna have to download it and then follow the steps to install it. It's easy to install. Once you download it, you just you will just be able to just follow the steps, and it's easy. You just double click and then follow the prompts. And once you download this, you're gonna need to go to CentOS. And when you get to CentOS, what I want you to do is to go to CentOS. You're gonna have to go to CentOS, and I'm moving my screens here. So select the CentOS stream instead of the CentOS Linux. CentOS stream, it's gonna require networking to be able to keep your packages and dependencies up to date. And select 9, that's the latest version of CentOS. Click on this architecture, select this one here, and once you do that, you're gonna download it. It's gonna take probably about 6 or 8 minutes or 10 minutes, depending on the bandwidth, your internet speed that you have, and also depending on the machine that you're using. So I'm gonna stop this one here because I already have one installed, downloaded. I meant to say. So when you download that, I'm gonna take you to where we need to. Let me see here. I'm gonna take you here, and I'll show you I'll show you my VMware Fusion here. So I have my VMware Fusion, and what you see here, I already have installed a couple of CentOS machines here, and you can install as many as you can. So the first thing you do is to click on the plus sign here, and then you see you have these options. You can use new, migrate, import, folder, scan, but I'm gonna say new. And then here you have the option to select where you have downloaded your ISO file, and in my case you can either go wherever to the downloads folder. That's where your ISO file has been downloaded if you haven't moved it from that place, or you just click continue. Gonna give you the option to select, so I'm gonna click so let me make sure that you can see what I see here. Okay, so I'm gonna click here to select, to go to the location where I have downloaded my CentOS here. So I'm gonna open this. It's now attached to this machine that I wanna spin up. Then I click continue, and this is where you can change names here. You can either just leave it as your name, or you can give, maybe you can say student. This is how you want your system to display. Whatever, you can use whatever you want to use here. So I use student, and then password. You're gonna have to create a password here that you can remember. And then when it's the two passwords match here, then you're gonna see the continue blue button here. So you click, and then do not check this one here. Make your home folder accessible to the virtual machine. Don't do that for security reasons here. Just leave everything else as default. Click continue, and here you don't do anything. Rather, you see here the new drive, the new hard drive capacity will be 20 gigabytes. That's your storage. Your memory will be 1 gigabyte, and so you're using your local system. This machine will be sharing the same networking system that you have on your local system. So click finish, and then when you click finish, you're gonna have to decide where to store that machine, and you can name it here. So I'm gonna name it here CentOS 8 or CentOS 9 other. So you find where you can store it. In my case, I store all of my machines here, virtual machines. I'm gonna say save, and it's saved. And the next thing that you do is just to click here and to start the download. So I'm gonna minimize that so that I only keep this one here, and then this will take some time, depending on your internet, also your system. If you have a very slow computer, it's gonna take some time. If you have a newer computer, it may take a little bit not long, but it's gonna be a little bit faster. And so that's why I always encourage you have at least 8 gigabytes of RAM, because that will help. But if you have like 2 gigabytes of RAM, it's gonna slow much of what you do. So So we're gonna have to wait, and what I'm trying to do here is to see how I can increase, I can make the screen a little bit bigger. So apparently I cannot do that, and I do not want to do full screen here. So we're gonna have to wait for just some time, and it's getting there. And this is real time. I'm not stopping the video so that you get a sense of how things work. And then the other thing that you need to know is that that CentOS is exactly like Red Hat Linux, Red Hat Enterprise Linux. So when you do that, Red Hat Enterprise, it's commercial, unlike CentOS. CentOS, it's for like you want to play CentOS. That's why we use it. And when you get to this point here, I'm trying to see if I can make it a little bit bigger. For some reason it's so small. Oh, I'll try to do that later, but at least you all can see this. Let me maybe do that. So whenever you see these red things, it means that it needs your attention. So you click there to select the destination, then click done. So that's doing what it needs to do. And when it doesn't go away, it means that you have to do it one more time, and hoping it works this time. Yeah, it just worked. And then the next thing you need to do is to set your root password, and make sure that you save it some place safe and where you can remember. And do not check any of these things here. Click OK, you're done. And then after you're done with that, and I always encourage my students to create your first user. And when you create your first user, make sure that you use this sign. You check this box here. Make this user administrator. Make this user an administrator. And you do that, and you assign this user a password. And they have to match. Even though they say weak, because this is just for practice. In a work environment, you don't need a weak password. So you do that, and then you begin installation. And it's gonna take some time here. It's gonna take some time, and again, depending on your system. And I wish there was a way to pause this video and come back after I am done, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna pause the video, and we'll continue when the installation is done. Okay, now as you can see, the installation is complete, and the next thing we do, we just gonna reboot the system here. So click there. Sometimes when you click once, it doesn't respond, okay? Then you may have to click the second time. And then when you click the second time, so it's gonna reboot the system, and this may also take some time, just a little bit of time, and you're gonna have to just be patient and wait. The installation took about 25 to 30 minutes, and again, it all depends on what system you're using here. So what system you're using. So you're just gonna have to wait for a little longer. And sometimes when you may your mouse or cursor may be lost. If you just press the command on your keyboard, and that should do it. So it looks like the system is thinking, and then to release, so you press Control, you release your mouse, you press Control and Command at the same time. So now it's starting, and you're gonna have to give it some time here, just probably close to a minute to get going here. Get going again. So now you see there's a spinning kind of wheel towards the center, but going down the screen here. So that's a good sign. It means that it's about to start here. And then again, you give it some time. So here now you will see this prompt here, and just you remember we created our first user, and we gave this user administrative privileges by checking the box next to the user creation. And here you use your password that you assign to this user, and your CentOS 9 should be up and running. And it's about to get going here, and what you're gonna see for the first time, it's gonna be a good GUI looking screen. And when you talk about GUI, that's graphical user interface. So you're gonna then go to the activities here. So just click on the first screen here, and then no, I don't want the tour, no thanks. And this is your welcoming window on CentOS 9. So click on activities here, and you have options here. You have the Firefox browser, internet browser, and then here you have your where you put your files. This is the software place where you go to download any kind of software, the software you may want. And this is for help. This is the terminal. This is kind of like where you go to see all of your applications. If you click there, you're gonna see the applications that you have here. So I'll go back to the terminal, and the terminal, this is what we'll be using for our work together. And you can change the size of the screen by clicking, these three lines here. Click there. If you click the plus, it's gonna make it a little bit bigger. You can do it again, so it's even much bigger. And here you can check the kernel and then a lot of the information about your system here, and you can tell that it's a Linux system. This is the architecture. It's Linux here, and so you have information about your kernel, and this is your domain name. And then you can even say, okay, so who's using this system? It's a student, user by the name of student, and so you're pretty much set. And this is what you need to know about creating a lab environment using VMware Fusion for Mac computer, and using CentOS. And remember, CentOS is very similar to Red Hat Enterprise Linux, which is commercially used by a lot of companies. So you master CentOS, then you master RHEL. And thank you again for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next video.